Hey, what's up folks? How's it going? This is Waj. Hope you guys are all doing well. And for the past couple of weeks, I've been testing out the new Oculus Go VR headset. It's actually a scaled down version of the Rift headset that came out a couple of years ago, and it offers a lot of cool features. One thing that I'm really curious about is to see how it compares against the latest version of the Samsung Gear VR headset that requires a smartphone to use but only retails for $90 versus the 32GB version of the Go headset is around $200 and it's about $250 for the 64GB model. And even though there's some critical hardware differences between the two, from the software perspective, they're both using a very similar Oculus-based experience. Now, firstly, let's talk about the designs of both these two headsets. The Oculus Go comes in this nice kind of white color, very similar design to the original Rift headset, but it is smaller in terms of footprint, both when it comes to the Samsung Gear VR and the original Rift. Now, when it comes to the weight, the Samsung Gear VR loaded with something like a Samsung S9 actually weighs roughly the same amount as the Oculus Go, so there's no real difference there. And in terms of adjustability, both have the 3-point Velcro strap, so you can perfectly tailor it to fit nicely on your head. There's no issues with fogging. And if you happen to wear glasses like myself, there's actually a little spacer that comes with the Go headset that goes in between the lenses and the foam pad, giving you enough room and space to use the headset with your glasses. You can also use glasses with the Gear VR headset without any major issues as well. Now, obviously, the big distinction between the two is that the Oculus Go is a standalone VR headset. It's not required that you need a smartphone to use it. It has a built-in Qualcomm Snapdragon 821 processor. It's using Android as a backbone. It has built-in Wi-Fi. You also have an integrated headphone jack, speakers, as well as a microphone so you can chat with other VR users. And it's really an all-encompassing, ready-to-go VR experience straight out of the box versus the Samsung Gear VR. You're going to need a specific Samsung smartphone or device to comply with the headset itself in order to get all of its functionality. It's not going to work with just any Android-based smartphone like something like Google Cardboard. Now, certainly for me, the biggest advantage from the Oculus Go to the Gear VR definitely has to be the display. The Go comes with a Quad HD 5.5-inch display, giving you a PPI count about 538. That's actually slightly higher than the original Oculus Rift. Now, what's arguably even more important than resolution from a VR perspective is the maximum refresh rate that the device can deliver. We're looking at 72 Hz on the Go, not as good as the 90 Hz from the full PC Oculus Rift experience, but certainly better than the 60 Hz that the Gear VR can deliver. One of the biggest downsides of the Gear VR is regardless of whatever device you're using, it's going to downscale the resolution to about 1024 by 1024. So even though that the Samsung Galaxy S9 has technically a much higher native resolution than the Oculus Go display, you still can't utilize all those pixels with the current version of the Samsung Gear VR at this stage of the game. Now, in terms of the VR gaming performance, I don't think the Oculus Go is going to compete anywhere close to what the Oculus Rift or the HTC Vive are doing on the PC side, since on the more high-performance VR side, you're going to be powered by a multiple GPUs capable of doing very high refresh rates at fairly high resolutions. With the Oculus Go, since you're limited to basically smartphone-based technology, I did find that some of the experiences were a little bit laggy and choppy and did induce some nausea from time to time, which is typically a symptom of when the hardware can't deliver the VR experience as fluidly and as dynamically as possible. So that's definitely a limiting factor. If you're in it for a pure gaming experience, you're probably going to be a little disappointed with the Oculus Go. Now, from a media consumption standpoint, I think the Oculus Go is definitely superior than the Gear VR. The Gear VR is definitely easy to use and certainly a nice little entry-level platform to the whole VR space, but for consuming movies and chatting with different people in the VR spaces, I think the Oculus Go definitely offers a little bit more value. The only limiting factor is you're obviously limited to the internal storage capabilities of the individual 32 and 64 gigabyte models, which may be a little bit cumbersome for some people. For myself, I didn't find too much of an issue since most of my media is being streamed online anyways, and I'm not storing really much content from a local standpoint. Now, in terms of the tracking capabilities, both headsets have 3D gyroscopes built in, accelerometers, as well as a magnetometer. So both are pretty good in terms of head tracking and also making sure that your controller is synced appropriately to the headset. There is no room scale option on both of these, so there's no third cameras that are looking upon you where you can walk around in a specific space. It's a purely sit-down experience, so that's again another distinguishing factor from the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift. Lastly, if we were to just take a look at the controllers that comes with both headsets, you can see they're actually fairly similar in terms of core design philosophy. I personally think that the Samsung controller feels a little bit more tactile. The buttons feel a little bit more clicky and a little bit more secure in the hand. Both are ambidextrous controllers, so you can use it left and right. They both have touchpads, home keys, back keys, trigger buttons, and the Samsung Gear VR controller does have volume dials, which is kind of nice. But besides that, to conclude, I would say that the Oculus Go is certainly the more powerful platform. It'll give you the most comprehensive VR experience, and certainly at the price range, it's pretty economically priced compared to the full-on Rift headset and the HTC Vive. So definitely a nice little bridge between the mobile platform and the full desktop platform. So definitely an interesting direction. Now, for people that have a compatible Samsung device, I would probably recommend to actually check out the Gear VR opposed to getting the Oculus Go, mainly due to the fact that it's 90 to 85% fairly similar experience, not a huge difference. Even though the display is better on the Oculus Go, I don't think it's probably worth that leap. But if you don't have a Samsung device, are interested in the whole VR space, and perhaps don't have the budget for a proper desktop gaming VR setup, I would definitely recommend the Oculus Go in that circumstance, especially if you want somewhere in between the mobile space and the desktop space. It's not a lot of money, gives you excellent value, and probably decent support in the coming months and years. So definitely check out the Go in that circumstance. But really, other than that, guys, that's really it. Hopefully this video gave you some sort of insight between how these two headsets differentiate from each other. If you have any specific questions, let me know. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Thanks again for your support. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care.